Big day, big day, big day, big day.
One of the biggest challenges for a production designer is creating a unique style for every one of our films. When we catch up to Flint Lockwood in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, he and his father have moved into a one-bedroom apartment in the mythical town of San Fran Jose, California. San Fran Jose is an idyllic mix of San Francisco and San Jose, a friendly coastal town that is quite literally built around the giant technology firm LiveCorp. In the early design stages, we chose to make San Fran Jose appear more grounded in the real world than the rest of the film, so that it could act as a launching pad for all the fantasy elements that show up later in the story. We designed every one of our textures by hand, using traditional mediums like gouache, acrylic paint, and watercolors.
Land ho! Land ho!
The look of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 is pushed much further than the first film because the story has a much bigger fantasy element that demanded more fun, creative choices. When our characters return to Swallow Falls for the first time, at first it seems intimidating. It took us a while to figure out the right balance because we didn't want the situations to be too scary. But once we added the bioluminescence and color to our early development work, suddenly everything sprang to life and the scenes went from feeling spooky to feeling mysterious and fun. From the second you step on the island, I wanted the audience to know they were in a storybook, that they were in a fantasy.
Whoa. Look what's happened to our town.
The directors and I were intrigued by this idea that on a subliminal level, that when the island got destroyed, Flint's lab spilled out over the island, and all this color exploded on the island that wasn't there before. The directors challenged me to come up with a new shape language, so we focused in on a very organic, arabesque design.
How is that even possible?
I have no idea. Best we don't think about it.
The world should know about this.
To achieve the fantastic, whimsical feel that matched the tone of the story, we created a living painting, so to speak, that allowed the audience to get lost in the story. Textures were actually created in 2D. We used India ink, watercolor, gouache, and markers to create all kinds of swatches, which we then scanned into the computer and used as custom textures and brushes, then applied to the three-dimensional geometry.
Syrup is my favorite.
It was a really fun challenge to design this amazing moment where Flint Lockwood and his friends experienced the beauty and diversity of this new ecosystem for the first time. As the wonder of this new world opens up for them, the film explodes in a rainbow of color. From that point on in the film, we stay in that fun, colorful palette.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Early on in development, we did hundreds of designs of food creatures, which we narrowed down to about 120 that appear in the film. The ones that play the biggest part are the berries, the pickles, the cheese spider, and the tocodiles. And for those creatures, we spent a lot of extra time to hero out their designs and give them a huge range of expressions. In the early stages, when we were designing them, there were often lengthy discussions about the logic of these fun creatures. However, we quickly realized that logic only gets you so far in a cartoon as broad as Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. At some point, you have to stop asking how they would exist and go along for the ride. The directors were adamant that they shouldn't be scary, and we decided to make them cute and lovable instead, almost like stuffed animals. We wanted the audience to find the food creatures lovable because we were hoping that they would want to protect them at all times. Overall, these fun food creatures, along with the stylized world of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, will be a place where kids and adults can lose themselves and feel like they are exploring the island with Flint while he's on his journey.